Back to Fox 2 News at 9. The race for governor is on despite the pandemic shutting down most campaigning and fundraising.
I recently caught up with State Auditor Nicole Galloway, who was running for the office against Governor Mike Parson. We addressed a number of topics, so we begin with the state's response to the coronavirus.
I think that people deserve clear, direct, factual communication about what is happening in terms of the pandemic, and what the response is. Unfortunately, we have seen politics trickle into the response to the COVID pandemic at the state level. I have used my position as state auditor to put forward policies, to put forward action that could help keep Missourians safe and slow the spread of the virus. Many of these things have been implemented. For instance, more transparency around CARES Act funding, increased testing, particularly at congregated facilities like manufacturing plants and nursing homes. So we are slowly making our way there as a state, but we need leadership out on the front, directing and communicating to the people of the state what is happening in regards to COVID, so folks can make the best decisions for themselves, for their families, and for their businesses.
I wonder where you lie on this one. It's a tale of two states. In Illinois, the governor had threatened arrest for people who open businesses. When we had the situation at the Lake of the Ozarks, the governor of Missouri says, well, that's for local businesses to decide. Where do you fall along those lines? How should that situation have been addressed?
I think there needed to be clear communication. At the local level, they were pointing to the state. The state was pointing to the local. People were pointing fingers instead of clearly communicating what the restrictions were and how those were going to be enforced. We know that over Memorial Day, it's a huge tourist weekend for Missouri. It's a huge travel weekend for Missourians. In my administration, we would have been reaching out well before Memorial Day weekend, directing those lines of communication, understanding who is responsible for what, so that response could have gone smoothly.
Let's talk protest here very quickly. How would you handle it to where it doesn't get to the point to where it got during Ferguson, and in some cases how it's gotten to this point?
The protests that we are seeing here in St. Louis, across the state, across the country, are giving voice to a pain, an energy, a frustration with that criminal justice system, but also with the fractures in our systemic institution, or in our institutions that has been systemic for a long time, whether it comes to education, economic empowerment, economic opportunity, access to health care. There's a lot of issues that are bubbling up right now as part of this frustration. So people have a right to protest. People have a right to express themselves through protest, and they need to be able to do that in a space, in a way that is safe. It also has to be exceptionally clear that violence, property destruction cannot and will not be tolerated. I do think that here we are at a moment of change. We are at an inflection point of change to say that we don't have to settle for the way things are. We can expect better. We can do better. And together, through this energy that we're having right now in this state, we can create that change. We can create policies so we don't have to do this again. You talked about the history of Missouri. We don't have to do this again in 2 months, 2 years, 10 years from now, that we're in a better place in the future than we are as we're standing here now.
I also asked her about the prosecutors in St. Louis and some in Kansas City not charging people who are caught looting. She says that she believes it's up to the local prosecutors to bring local charges, but she also believes that people who broke the law do need to be held accountable.
Well, the